We are live. Sweet. What is up, everybody? Welcome on this beautiful Thursday morning as we kick off with some special guests. I know we're usually here talking about closing deals from a sales process or maybe a scripting perspective or diving into objections, but I got some special sauce for everybody today. All right. On the backside of every good investor, which is an odd way to describe it, is a very strong tech foundation underneath, right? And so I got on here two of my very good friends. Both of these gentlemen were at my wedding celebrating me getting married just this past Zoom. We're so close. Plus, this past June, not Zoom. And they're going to be talking about this super cool product that they just came out with. Full transparency, guys, this is my first look at it too. So I wanted this interview to be extremely authentic. I want to ask questions that are extremely authentic. I've got a couple from the community prepped and ready to go, but I just want everybody to see what this is all about, okay? So if you are a land investor who is looking to do more deals, this should be an interesting one for you. As we're getting kicked off, guys, good morning. How are we doing today?
We're doing
Hey,
great.
yeah, doing awesome.
Sweet, 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 sweet. And like, I think it goes without saying, these men almost need no introduction, but if you don't know them, I'll start with Mike because he's at the top of my screen here. Mike is one of my very best friends in the world. We don't talk nearly often enough, so you wouldn't believe it. But generally speaking, Mike is one of my very best friends in the world. We have vacation together at his friends' fancy houses and jet setted across multiple different places. We haven't left the country together just yet, but I feel like we just keep missing each other. And Seth here, I have had the privilege with running together for a couple of years. He got me started on my whole land career, whether he knows it or not, with RE Tipster. If you haven't checked out RE Tipster, I'm sure you have, because when you Google anything about land, it ranks really high. But this guy knows everything and everyone, is a wealth of knowledge, and I'm really grateful you could be here today. So, guys, thanks for being here. As we're getting kicked off, will one of you just tell me about the origins of Stride? Like, why should I even care about what we're looking at today? Give me the problem you saw in the space and how we even got here.
Yeah, I think the biggest way that we got here, Seth and I, we came up with this plan about 5 months ago now. It's crazy. It's one of those plans you think will be done in 30, 45 days, and 5 months later, you finally launch. But we started coming together, just talking about a lot of the issues. I think it's very common for us in the space to, we either find software we think will be amazing, and then you realize that you need a budget of Netflix to buy it, or you might be using other software, and then you just start putting things together. And I was talking to Seth. I'm like, Seth, we teach AI. We do a lot in the space. Why isn't there a platform out there where you can just have automations built in, or texting built in, or RVMs, or just like one click send a contract, or all these other things without, even if you have a really big, massive platform. I used FUB for a while, Follow Up Boss. I loved it. But even that too, as my team grew, it started charging me more and more and more. You have to use outside integrations for follow-up text. And it's just like, Seth, why don't we just make something and stop punishing people for growing our businesses and thriving?
That's so good. Anything to add here, Seth? Was that the same dialogue you had with Mike in your brain, or was it very different from your side of the story?
Yeah, no, pretty much. Yeah, I always had ideas of what a CRM should be, and the problem was I just didn't have the expertise to actually do it. So if it was just up to me to do it, it's never going to happen. But Mike enters the picture. He's got a lot more experience on different CRM platforms and just knows this space a lot better and how to actually implement this stuff. And it was like, whoa, maybe we could actually do this. So we started working
Sweet.
on Stride, and here we are.
Well, I'm so glad you guys did work on this, and I'm excited to see what you've got in today. As you guys were building this out, I mean, walk me through. Like, I know, we've been Pebble users for a long time, and I'm not trying to sit here and compare. I'm good friends with the guys at Pebble. I know both of you guys are too. They
Yeah.
rock. Love those guys. But obviously, there aren't as many features as we would want in everything we're doing, right? We weren't able to zap out for a very long time. That was something they just added. We have Zapier, and we're looking at Make, and like there's all these integrations you need to get stuff going. It's not fully integrated to get contracts out, which I know is a feature you guys have that's pretty sick, right? The phone systems are a little bit newer, but even then, there's pitfalls in every CRM, right? And so I think what's really cool is how you guys were able to sit down and really design this for people. Walk me through, I think one of the taglines you dropped for me, Mike, when we were even getting forward towards this was, it's built for land investors, not sales reps. Like, walk me through that as you guys were ideating on this.
Yeah. So I know this is your first time really seeing the platform, Ajay, But I have to say, while you may thank Seth for getting you into the land space, I have to thank you for helping set some clarity around what Stride is. Is
Amazing.
you and I, we talked on the phone for a while, and you said, Mike, I got to be honest with you, man. Most people don't have a CRM issue. They have a process issue. They have a chaos issue. They don't have things organized well at all. And I'm sure we've all seen that if somebody shares with us their CRM that's on like Notion or Airtable, or even if they're using some other platforms, but then they're tracking their KPIs in a big Google sheet and things like that. And it's just, how can we build this out so it's made for land investors? As you continue to grow, you can use it more and more. You won't be punished for growing. And it's just easy to know. Like one thing I thought Follow Up Boss did so well is you could start creating smart list. It's like, oh, new lead comes in, this is somebody I need to triple dial right now.
Yep.
Hashtag Land Closers Academy, triple dial. All right. But just things like that, and then even just the ability to have to now figure out how to do Zapier, send it somewhere else to send things out is like, let's make this for people in our space, which was interesting because I mean, Seth's probably worked with more land investors than nearly anyone we know and interviews the latest and greatest always. So it's like, okay, Seth, like, what do we need here? And it's great just to have a different lens on everything. And we really built it out, whether you're a mailer, a texter, an RVM, or a cold caller, door knocking and hanging tags. Okay, I don't know anybody in the land space doing that yet, but I'm sure there's some of you guys out there.
I didn't tell you, man. I've been door knocking. It's not been very successful though, which is why. No, I'm just kidding. No, Mike, this is awesome, and obviously you and I have been friends for years. I feel like a lot of the sales process that I've ideated and brought to the land world has come from fruitful conversations you and I have had as we both built out our sales processes. Right? I think it was March 2023. So it's crazy. It's been almost 2 years or over 2 years that we've known each other. But when we started chatting, man, we both had teams of just a couple of people on staff, and we're doing a couple of deals a month, and it wasn't anything crazy. And we've both continued to do deals and keep money flowing and grow teams and downsize and upsize and all the things. But at the backbone of it all, you need clarity, right? And I think that's what so many people lack in their CRMs, in their pipelines, in their lead management, right? And so what I love about all the conversations we've had up to this point, me, you, and Seth, is we're not trying to deliver, come buy this tech. We're trying to deliver, come get clarity for your lead management, right? If you came in with clarity, you will do more deals, right? If you and your team know where things are and what action items are laid out and how to drive to the next steps, you're going to get more deals, right? So I'm teasing a bunch here, but I can't say enough words of excitement about diving into this. Is there anything else we should know about the product before you just start opening it up and showing us what it looks like?
Yeah, I would say one thing to keep in mind. So, for anybody thinking about doing this, or for anybody that pulls the trigger on it, we built this out trying to think of almost everything you can be doing in the space. So, with that being said, the CRM can do a bajillion things. It's almost overwhelming at first. So, keep in mind if you do happen to get in here, start building things out, you don't have to do everything. And now it's like the first time somebody showed me underwriting on a large multifamily deal on Excel, I was looking at that and it's like, you can do this on Excel? Like, wow, this is scary. So I would just definitely preface that you can do a bajillion things here, but you don't have to do them all. Definitely grow into the CRM, start using the features that you think are top priority, which I know this is something we talk about all the time. What's going to move the needle forward? Like that's what matters the most. And I would just keep that in mind as you toy in here.
100%. I love it. And so, Mike, I think we're about to transition into you showing us some features and me asking you a lot of questions, especially because you know what the sales process looks like. While we're getting that going, guys, if you're here live with us, I see over 10 to 15 of you have been kind of in and out. Will you just let us know in the comments you're here and where you're coming in from? I want to see who's here live with us. Number one, I've got it up on another screen. Number two is if you have questions throughout, please drop them in the comments and I can help get these to Mike and Seth, who are going to be our best source of information on how Stride works. And they are generous enough to be here live with us. So please let us know you're here right now. Would love to know who's here live with us, and drop your questions in the comments so I can relay it to these guys so we can get those answered in real time. Now, while we do that, Mike, we ready to open up the kimono, man, and get into what we're doing?
Wait, we can't just talk about it? You actually want me to show it? Oh, yeah.
I know it's usually how these go, right? I'm just going to tell you guys how to do deals, which is also why here at the Land Closers Academy, we're not afraid to pick up the phone and show you guys me closing deals live, right? Mike and Seth, you guys are doers, not talkers, which is why, yes, we are going to take a look under the hood and you're going to show us how it works.
All right. Let's get rocking and rolling then. So like I said, we got a bajillion tools that we could be looking at here. So we're just going to show you some that we think are really needle movers that are really important. Seth, Ajay, as always, jump in here anytime you want to.
Definitely.
But one thing I'll do, well, you just brought this up actually. When you said Seth and Mike, you'd be the best ones to ask questions to help everything. I actually wasn't even planning on talking about this, but I guess we should. One thing that always bothered me in the space with different CRMs and platforms is when you need help. And a lot of times when you need help, you submit a ticket, you wait till the next business day, or you just hear from them at some point. And that's one thing that really hit us. It's like, okay, how can we have support at 24/7? Because I don't know about you all, but if something's going wrong in my CRM or in my business at all, like the sky is falling. Nothing
Totally.
else matters anymore. I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping. It's like, we have to get this fixed now, And when it's like 4 a.m. on a Saturday, these owners of CRMs aren't there to help me. Like, guys, I'm a customer. Help me out,
Right.
Zoom went down on Monday. They didn't even shoot me an email, man. I can't believe it. I use it like 8 times a day.
That's crazy.
So one thing we made sure to do, we have 24/7 help in here. So we have some training videos Seth and I did. You can get a link to that. This chat widget's in everyone's account. We have a huge knowledge base. And then Seth and I just being techie people. This is actually Persona AI that's built in here to begin with. So you can see it here. So any question you ask it, it's going to try to help you out. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, Mike, dude, I talk to a lot of AI chatbots. They help me out and I never get the answer I want. It just drives me crazy. No problem at all. Oh, this might make somebody on our team mad. But if I press agent, what's actually going to happen is it's going to end up connecting us to an agent right now. Oh, this is a demo account. Okay, I guess I didn't turn it on for my account. Oh, fake news. This is horrible. No, but that's probably best. They won't be mad at me.
Live in front of 3,000 people, Mike. No, I'm just kidding. This is hilarious. But you're telling me if we weren't in a demo account right now, the word agent triggers something so that we're going to go directly to somebody live.
Correct. Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
100%. No matter what time of day it's going on. I mean, this is 1 a.m. on a Sunday morning. You're going to help right now.
Amazing.
Which is great. And then, of course, knowledge base, everything else, and just AI, which can typically help you out. Next thing I want to jump in here too, as we just talk about clarity on things, because I know this is so important. How do we know when to triple dial someone? How do we know when to double dial someone? I see a lot of different CRMs, a lot of Google Sheets. I'm sure you both have experienced this, where you see they just have a little tab and it's like last updated yesterday at 7 p.m. And then you're wondering, okay, is that 7 p.m. your time or my time? Are you in the Philippines? Are you in the US? How are you doing this here? And it's like they have to go through, read all of this. So we made sure to have some smart list in here. So of course, your first one is all of your contacts. Smart list in here, you can start filtering these out by when was it created? When's the last time you talked to them? What needs to happen now? And we just absolutely love going about this too, because of course, everything loads slow whenever I share my screen on Zoom. It's the end of the world. All right.
How it goes.
I know. Everything's failing now. Worst call ever. This isn't live, right? No.
Also, just for everybody watching, that phone number up top is not me. I know you have that saved as Ajay Sharma, which is great. Please do not try calling that number. In all seriousness, it isn't me. But if my cell was up here, I'd totally text you and be like, hey, dude, delete that right now. I do not need a bunch of people with my cell phone number. That being said, we are here with all of our best friends. So please proceed because it is loading so fast now.
Yes. So we got our double dials here going on. So these are just people we've already hit up for the triple dial. Triple dials are in here as well. As you can see, Ajay's this first one. Actually, by the way, phone number here, 305 Miami area code, but 8675309. That's what I have going on here. Yeah.
Funny. Okay.
So, but I absolutely love this because this is filtered out. So everybody who was created 2 days ago and the activity is more than a day ago, or there's been no activity. So these 13 records here, when we were looking at the all list, we had over 200 people in here. These 13 need to get called. They need to get called right now. For my team, we start setting things up this way. So it's your KPI for the day is clear out your list. At the end of the day, this list should be no one. As someone new comes into the CRM, it'll immediately pop up here, to triple dial them. After you've triple dialed them a couple times, it'll naturally move over to the double dial. So you can really just start setting these up exactly how you want. And that's one thing we love because it just puts clarity for your team. Nothing's worse than having to follow up and telling your team, hey, call this person, hey, call this person, hey, call this person. Instead, it's just like, if you see it, call it. If you don't see it, don't call it. And just keep things nice and simple there.
Oh. I love it. I love it. And guys, even before this, so, I know, Mike, you and I know how we run our businesses, right? I even want to just remind everybody when Mike's talking about these smart sheets, guys, these are the newest leads that just came into your pipeline, which is why we're triple dialing them, right? So you're able to set this up so that when a new lead comes into your pipeline, your acquisition managers know these are all the people I need to triple dial today. Right? And what that means, guys, what we're optimizing for is connection rate. I'm going to triple dial, which means I call Seth. Seth doesn't answer because he thinks his son's more important than me. Little does he know is I'm going to call Seth again, right? And when I call Seth a second time, he's like, dang, Ajay penetrated through my do not disturb. I wonder what he needs, but I'm spending time with my son, so I'm going to put this away, right? So then I'm going to say, no, Seth, you're going to pick up the phone, right? So I'm going to call you a third time. And I've never done this before, but Seth, if I triple dialed you, would you pick up your phone? Now I'm curious. Like, would you think something's going crazy and I really needed your help?
Yeah. I wonder how many marriages and families you've torn apart and ruined through your triple dial.
I like to think of the ones I've brought together with all that money we've given these people.
Yeah,
right?
I guess there's that too.
Yeah, right. But what's funny too, and I'll tell a quick side story here, is I have obviously fought to teach the land world about, hey, how do we connect with more of our seller leads? Because when you connect with more of them, you can have conversations. And when you can have conversations, you can make offers. And when you can make offers, people can tell you yes. When people tell you yes, they'll sign purchase agreements. And when they sign purchase agreements, you get to do deals. And when you do deals, you make money as long as you're doing them well, right? And so there's this mathematical formula of how all this works. But because I've shouted from the rooftops and the mountaintops, guys, we need to be doubling and tripling dialing all these sellers. My friends now double dial me, not infrequently, and they think it's really funny. And I was like, guys, I would pick up your phone call if I wanted to. I have your contact saved, right? I am in a meeting. I'm on another call. I'm on calls all day long, right? Similar to you guys, I'm sure, right? And so it's funny, but I always say it's my penance for teaching thousands of land investors to then reach out to probably tens of thousands of landowners, if not hundreds of thousands of contacts over all the different real estate mediums that have done this. So I've got to pay my penance, unfortunately. But the function here is, guys, we're trying to make sure you make more money. So if this was in your face every day to say, hey, here's your contacts of who you're triple dialing, it basically puts it in front of your face so you don't need to think about it anymore. You just know whether you did it or didn't do it because Mike and Seth have made this so easy for us to look at when a new lead comes in. Anything you guys want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that Mike is on right now, like conversations underneath each contact it's kind of a big deal because especially if you do have a team and if somebody's assigned to be double or triple dialing them, I mean, you can see every call that was made. It can automatically record and transcribe every call. So you can really just kind of keep tabs on what happened here and when did it happen? And is the job being done or not? And all that stuff on the left there that Mike is scrolling through, that's basically like your whole due diligence list. And whether it's you doing it or somebody on your team, it just keeps it all there. So it's easily accessible either from your computer here or from the mobile app, from your mobile device, if you want to do that. So yeah, it's just, when I think about the way I used to do this, where I just had a spreadsheet per property, and there were just hundreds of spreadsheets all over the place. It's just a beautiful way of compacting that and also putting it together with every time they contact somebody. So.
I love it. And so you're telling me the whole call and text history is in the contact, kind of similar to when we're using open phone, when we're reaching out to people?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, same thing. That is amazing. I feel like that's a reason I love open phone is I can see, oh yeah, I called this guy today. Because let's be honest, guys, if you're a land investor who's doing, call it 5 to 8 contracts a month, which is the formula we talk about to try to get to 6-figure months pretty consistently, you're calling 40 people a day, right? And you're probably connecting with 6 to 10 actual, property owners. And that's a lot of people to keep track of on a daily basis, let alone over 6 months. What's your follow-up look like, right? So this is huge. I mean, that's a huge benefit in terms of having that in your CRM, in your phone systems.
Yeah, totally. And any notes you've got, any files you want to upload, whether it's contracts or little PDF reports or video footage or photos, there's unlimited storage. You can never run out. So just upload as much as you want and keep it all here.
Says the lead is going to close. Ajay has no idea what he has coming. I love it. And you're telling me I can set appointments in here. I see calendars. I see tasks. Walk me through what you're playing with on this view here, Mike.
Yeah, I think we all have TikTok brains, so I'm just giving the users something to look at, while you start riffing, to be
Oh,
honest.
I actually have Minecraft on half the screen. Did I not tell you guys?
Yeah.
Please continue.
So we built this out. So there's a lot going on in here. Now you might be looking at this too and thinking like, okay, I don't want to ask them all these questions on the phone or fill this out. Luckily, you don't have to. One thing Seth and I really wanted to make apparent is we'd want to build it out for almost any user to begin with, but then you can also delete anything you want to, add anything you want to. This is truly a CRM you can build out any way you want. You can start coming over here, seeing activity. Anybody who's been called, texted, things going on, you see the activity in there. You can start giving tasks to your team in here if you need to. You can start writing notes as your team starts calling them, talking to them, everything else. You can set appointments right from here, which is very nice. You just add it, pick what calendar you want it to go to. And of course, you could back end automate this. We have automations built in. So it's like when the appointment's booked, they immediately get that SMS or that email. And we'll talk a little bit more about these, but we all know how important that is. I think one thing too you made so important to me, Ajay, a while back, is you said set appointments for your calls. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I say, are you free tomorrow? They say yes. And I say, great, I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And of course, when I call them tomorrow, 9 times out of 10, they don't pick up.
What?
And I know. They said they were free tomorrow. Like in my mind, that means all day long you're waiting on my phone call. Like nothing else matters, And you said too, it's like schedule your appointments and then let them know. And shoot them an email once it's scheduled, and shoot them an email so they can reschedule if they need to. Let them know an hour before, let them know 5 minutes before. We built all that out in here. So that way too, when it's 2:00, you decide to call this lead, the lead's ready for you.
Wow.
Yes. Now with that too, make sure at 2:00, you actually call them, because if not, it's a bad look on you.
For sure.
Process did great. You're failing, now it's a people problem. No.
So in terms of tech stack, I mean, you're telling me if I'm in Stride, I can probably get rid of OpenPhone and Calendly, right? Those are two softwares I no longer need if I'm working out of Stride. Is that right? Am I understanding this correctly? Wow. Okay.
Yes. But let's go one step further. So let's say this Ajay random person we're talking to here, and let's say we want to pitch them an offer. So we'll give them let's say $50,000 for their property. We'll offer it today. Maybe closing date, maybe we'll close on it next month. Nice and easy. If I press that, if I save this, if everything goes according to plan, always the question here, it should end up just boom, just like that. Send them a contract.
Wow.
Right there. I can see it right here in real time. You can actually go ahead and view that contract so you can see exactly what they're receiving.
Wow.
And then everything's filling in directly from that contact itself. So right now too, and when I did this too, this actually went to my email address and Ajay's fake email address. That one's also my email address, because I'm not going to put your business in the streets, Ajay.
That's okay.
Everything pulls directly from the contact, so you're just ready to go. And then you can build this automation almost any way you want to. What are you thinking? Go for it.
I have a question. I'm sure you could tell by my face. So are you, is the way this is built, does this also have built-in e-sign software? So I no longer need DocuSign as well?
Correct. Yes. That's what we're looking at right now.
Wow. Yes. So you've gotten rid of 3 of my softwares in 20 minutes is kind of what I'm seeing. And, we haven't even talked about cost yet. We'll get there towards the end, but I spend $200 a month on OpenPhone. I spend $300 a year on DocuSign. I spend another $200 a year on Calendly. So what is that? That's like $3,000 a year that I'm spending on all those softwares. And that does not include what I spend on my CRM, right? I spend another couple $1,000 a year to make sure we've got Pebble for all our users, right? So I'm looking at, I'm already spending $5,000 a year just for my tech stack to run my sales process with booked appointments and calendar links and with e-signature capabilities. And DocuSign just came out with the ability for me to even text a link. So this being embedded in it the way that it is even cleaner than what we've got right now, which is sick. So I'm just gassing you up because this is freaking cool. Again, guys, this is my first time getting the demo. I wanted this to be authentic and not like a manufactured conversation for everybody. So I'm having fun learning about this. Mike, keep cooking, man. You're crushing right now.
All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. Yeah. So as you talk about this, all these tech stacks you want to get for, yeah, we'll just start, price anchoring right now. This is only $9,000 a month. But if you stick till the end of the call, okay, we will give you a discount.
We got a special promo, baby.
Yeah. No, I'll throw it out there now for anybody curious. We're charging $197 a month for this right now with the founders plan. So these are our first 100 users on there. We got a couple spots left on that. Then we're going to be bumping up, I think, to $297. And you'll just be locking that in for life. And that $197 is whether you have one user or 1 million users. We don't care. We don't want to punish you for growing and succeeding in the land space. And that's so one thing that drove me crazy. I just felt nickel and dimed all over the place, and then just duct taping software together, putting OpenPhone into my CRM, and then putting, DocuSign into it, and now having Zapier connect all of these things. And it drove me crazy. And I'm cheap, as you know, but
I'm well aware. He said, I'm just going to build my own CRM so I don't have to pay for one anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I love it. I love it. Keep rocking. This is awesome, Mike. That's so affordable.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Everybody heard that, right? Say it again, Ajay. No.
I spend more on OpenPhone every month right now than what you guys are charging for the first 100 users. And part of that is we got a lot of users in OpenPhone, right? So it's $25 a user plus a myriad of phone numbers, right? But holy hot darn, that is affordable.
Yeah, so this is the back end. So this automation is built right here within Stride. You can edit yourself. This one's triggered. So a lot of this is very similar to Zapier. This one's triggered just when you literally click the button, send contract, and it sends them the contract. Just like that. You can pick what contract you want sent, who it's from, add them to workflows. Right now, as you can see, we're currently waiting on Ajay. We're going to be waiting for him 14 days. At the end of 14 days, one of two things will happen. Either the tag is added, contract signed. If that tag is not added at the end of 14 days, it'll just automatically update this lead to couldn't agree on number drip, and then it's going to add them to a long-term drip sequence. We all say the fortunes and the follow-ups, but a lot of us don't follow up, or we're starting to manually follow up. So we really wanted to figure out, how can we just make this easy? Easy, easy, easy. Question so far on this?
I mean, you just teased me. What do these drips look like, man? Tell me more.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So what do drips look like? This is where Seth and I really started to fight.
It got ugly.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. That's why we make sure we never hang out in person anymore. Just Zoom calls only, keep distance. Yeah.
Tell me more.
But yeah, so we started building out a lot of different drips in here. Now, where Seth came in, at first I built out this first drip sequence. Everybody gets this right now. If they're not interested, we'll shoot them an email. Wait 2 days, shoot them a text. Wait 4 days, shoot them another email. Wait 2 days, send them an RVM. Like, all these things are built in here. Now, granted, with all these things, while we do have a lot of these emails already built out for you, we do recommend you come in here, you read them, you change them to your own. The only thing that's not built out is your RVMs. You need to record your own RVMs. I did not want Seth's voice everywhere in a Stride community like this. Instead, I want it all over RE Tipster crushing it. So do keep those in mind. But then Seth came in and said, Mike, what if somebody does an RVM? What if they don't text? What if they just want emails? So we ended up building out all these drip sequences. So this one says emails, couldn't agree on number, RVM couldn't agree on number, SMS couldn't agree on number. It's just that easy. You can pick whatever drip you want here, or you can just change them all up, or you can write your own, or you can clone it and edit it. And we even have one in here that we put in here, couldn't agree on number, long-term drip. This is a 6-month drip they're going to be on. 6 months, wait 30 days, shoot them an email. 4 days, shoot them an SMS. Another 25 days, another email, so on and so forth. It goes on for 6 months. And then what we ended up doing is go to, at the end of 6 months, you know what it does? Repeats all back over again, baby. This person is going to be hit up by me for the next 15 years. So
are you exaggerating, or you mean 15 years?
It depends on if I turned off this go to or not. Yeah. So,
dude, I'm like barely 15 years old, Mike. I'm like, I get my driver's license next week. That's crazy, man. No, and I'm teasing a bit, but I love it. So we make drips super easy to integrate into Stride. I mean, it's built in. There is no integration. It's just built in, which is amazing. Can we take a step back? Because this is insane in terms of value. But I know nowadays a lot of investors are doing some high touch, high volume marketing, right? Most land investors I'm talking to that are running six-figure months consistently or less, obviously, but a lot of them that are running the play that we teach and talk about frequently where, hey, we've got good sales process, like what you guys have modeled in here, are usually using cold calling or cold texting these days, right? Those are the two biggest marketing channels. Now, have gone down historically over the past 2 to 3 years. But generally speaking, the people I know that are rocking big lead flow, I'm talking, 30 to 50 leads a week on the regular. What I'm curious about is, hey man, if I'm using launch control or smarter contact, or if I've got a cold caller, whether it's in-house or a vendor, how do my leads actually come in, Mike? How do we get them into Stride, right? Because I don't want to sit there and plug and play all day. So will you walk me through some of that?
Yeah, yeah. You're going to go to Online Jobs PH. You're going to hire a VA that'll manually put everything in so
He's
you don't
joking,
have to.
guys. He's
No.
joking. If you don't know Mike, he's got a big sense of humor. All right. About 1 in 10 things Mike says are true. No,
Oh, I thought you were going to say 1 in 10 things is funny. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's accurate.
funny to someone, you're funny in your own eyes, right, Mike?
That is true. Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
That's sitting here like, man, I'm so sick of these jokes. I'm teasing. We gotta have fun with it, right? What's life worth doing if we're not having a good time? But that being said, yes, please show us, how do we get leads into Stride?
Yeah, totally up to you. So you actually have, so this is where it's built by you. It's built for you, but then you can edit it the way you want to. So you can create a new workflow. You can connect it to Zapier. We have an API integration in here.
Amazing.
So you can start zapping things over. You can also, in the site section, you can just build out forms in here. If you want to build out a form, have them fill it out, it would automatically go into your contact list. So it really depends on what do you want to do.
Yeah.
And now it's one thing to clarify too, as you talk about this in terms of outbound marketing, Stride is not made to text 50,000 people a day.
Right.
To drop 100,000 RV, like whatever outbound marketing channel you're using, you should keep using that.
Yeah.
Now, could you use Stride for that? Yeah, you could. Are you going to lose your phone numbers very quickly and TCPA is going to be mad at you? Yes, they will. So we do not advise it, but we can't stop you. But we do not advise it at all. Just do keep that in mind. You're going to be burning numbers quick.
Totally.
Yeah, that would be the easiest thing. Zap it in or have your team fill out a form and just form it in.
Okay, amazing. So guys, if you're already using Zapier integrations out of Launch Control, you know that exists. Out of Smart Control, you know that exists. If you're cold calling, whether it be in-house or outsourced, you can either set up a form for your reps to fill out and that'll automatically push over. Or again, you've got webhooks. If you've got your, I know a lot of people will have their cold calling vendors either bring in Airtable or bring in a spreadsheet or even an email. You can email parse. You can sheet zap over. And again, forms are like the easiest thing ever. If you've got already a form set up in Stride, like that's going to be your easiest bet because they're already filling out all that info and it's just a copy and paste for the caller. You just need to be able to manage to make sure that goes in correctly, right? But that being said, those are two biggest marketing channels I see for people that are crushing it these days. Obviously, we've got, PPC and PPL and Facebook ads, and there's some of that stuff wonking around, but 99% of investors I know that are doing deals extremely consistently. It's kind of direct mail, cold calling, cold SMS are the main things that I'm seeing these days. Would you guys agree with that? You talk to about as many investors as I do on a daily basis, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Cold call is what's really crushing it so
Cold
much right now.
Crushing. I got some clients that are doing that in-house right now, and they're rocking anywhere between 12 to 20x return on ad spend. Like it's nuts if you're doing it well in-house, using Ready Mode as a dialer and just chopping away. So again, glad to see that we've got forms in here and we're able to push stuff over really easy, right? So works with what's working today. It looks like we're about to come over to a little Kanban board, my favorite. This is what feels like home for me right now. So walk me through what we're looking at, Mike.
Okay, yeah, that's totally off the cusp. This was me too, just filling time. I wasn't planning on going over this, but since we're here now, might as well. So yeah, you can create as many of these as you want to. So we have it set up for leads, acquisitions, DD, value add, dispo. But build it as you want to. You could also name all of these states that you're targeting. You could have one very long one. You could have 100 very short ones. It's really built the way that you want to. things just move left to right. You can see as many as you want to. You can view them any way you want to. And it's just an easy way just to see like what is going on. Where are my leads? What's into the due diligence phase? What are we still trying to acquire? What are we currently dispoing? Where is that in the dispo? Have we listed it yet? Are we still in the pre-stage process? Do we have offers? Do we have closing scheduled? When did it actually sell? So we really try to make it easy for you. And I personally like to view opportunities as kind of the 10,000 foot view on your business. Like what is going on? We actually set a lot of automations in our contacts. So depending on once a contract signed, it'll automatically move on our opportunities board. Everything just happens behind the scenes. So we always know what's rocking and rolling. And we absolutely love that. Now, one issue we start to see a lot of investors have, while they love seeing their kind of deal boards, their opportunities pipeline to see where everything is, they want a better idea what their KPIs are looking like. This is something we hear all the time. It's how is my business doing? How is my caller doing? How are my callers doing? How's my DD person doing? So then I guess we'll kind of trigger over here to a dashboard.
Nice.
We have, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Everyone else, please hold your applause. We'll take applauses at the end. No. But we built out this dashboard. You can customize it the way that you want to. Start seeing what task you have going on, where your leads are coming from, what's your funnel looking like, how many opportunities do you have? I mean, it's really built out for you. So I can see right now we got 26 hot leads, 18 warm leads, 6 leads were just trashed. That's a shame. If I look at my acquisitions, I can start seeing a lot of the same things, see what stage they're in. And you're probably thinking, okay, Mike, but you just talked about the callers and the this and that. And I'm kind of looking at just kind of everything. That's fine then. Make a new dashboard or come into some that we just pre-built for you.
Okay.
So we have this one in here. Let's turn it on to this year. So we can see here, how many new leads do we have? How many appointments are booked? How many contracts are sent? How many have actually been signed? I know here's where we would see the average call duration. No calls are happening in the demo account. Tasks that are pending. And all of this here too, you can come in. You can build it any way you want to. This is again where I feel like a lot of CRMs force you to use what they built out. Right. We haven't done that. If you come in here and you think, Seth, you're an idiot. Mike, you're kind of dumb, but not as bad as Seth, and you want to change no, I'm just kidding. Luckily, this is like Facebook Live and not like Spotify Live or something, so they can't see faces, They're like, no wonder Seth hates Mike so much. No.
It's true. It's true. Most people are probably looking at us. Some might be in the car or doing pickup or drop off if they're watching on YouTube later.
Yes, true. But we really built this out. If you just want to get rid of stuff we have in here, get rid of it. Put in exactly what you want to.
Wow.
Put it in how you want to. Do you want to see how many contacts are in there? Where they came from? How many incoming calls you had? How long they last? What's going on with your conversations? I mean, you can really build this out almost any way you want to. And one thing too, we're starting to see some teams do that's pretty cool, is you can also go totally out of the box here. If you just wanted to add an image in here, you could just add an image. It'll drop in at the bottom. I guess I should put a picture in there. But you could add an image in there. You could start throwing some text in there. And what's interesting with this is we're actually starting to see some teams on their dashboard on the main phase actually put like core values in there. What do they care about? What's their team all about? Getting them hyped for the day. So we love seeing stuff like that. Love seeing them put their own images in there. It's just, how do you want your team to feel? How do you want them to view things and see things? And then you can do the same thing in Dispo. And you might be thinking, okay, this is a good view, but it's still too much of an overview. You showed me pipelines and it was a lot going on. Then you went to dashboards and then we got to narrow down a little bit more to Dispo or acquisition. But I want to know like agent specific what's going on. Well, then go over to the reporting tab. In here too, I can see Seth has made no calls this week.
Seth, what are you doing, man?
You have to fire me. I'm not very good at my job.
So it's so cool. I can come in here, see what's going on with Seth or with Mike. Mike may have not made any calls either, or Hannah, or anybody we want to. We can start comparing data. We can also come in here, start looking at the call report. How long is it? Speed to lead, I know, is so important. Where are these calls coming from? How long are they lasting? Is it incoming or outgoing? As well as appointments. How many were booked? How many confirmed? How many canceled? Pick the dates you want to start viewing these. We really wanted to make reporting and KPIs as easy as possible. And I think the biggest mission Seth and I went out to fulfill is how do we keep almost everything under one roof?
Yeah, this is so good. This is so good. So let's, Mike, I think we've seen, I mean, this thing is powerful, right? Again, I know in conversations we've had in the past, you've modeled a lot of this after the sales process that we've built out of Land Closures Academy, which is awesome, right? Which is awesome. And obviously, as the person who's really fought for land investors to understand sales process, it's really cool for me to see a solution that is custom built around land investors closing deals. It's crazy, but that's what we're all here to do, is get deals closed, right? Let's walk through the different avatars that this can serve really, really well. Like, I'm wondering, when people are getting started, they start out of spreadsheets and stuff, right? Let's talk about, man, do you think this would be good for a solopreneur? If you're a solo land investor, is this going to be something that's easy for them to jump right into and pretty out of the box in terms of what they're looking for? The customization's awesome, but if I'm a land investor working by myself right now, could this work for me?
Seth, you want to take this up? You work with a lot of new land
Oh yeah,
investors.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think the value sort of compounds the bigger team you have because there's just
Agreed.
so many more things to keep track of and people to keep track of. But man, I mean, for anybody doing this, if you're doing more than like a deal a month, like there's immediate value to be had here, not just from consolidating all the different services and subscriptions you can eliminate, but even just the ability to, before you send out your mail or whatever you're going to do, import your whole list into your contacts. And then when these people start responding, it recognizes them by their name or their phone number, and it sort of auto populates all the information. Like it just gets rid of a lot of what used to be manual data entry because it's already in your system. And it was actually a big thing that Mike and I were kind of struggling to as we were developing this, like the opportunity pipeline and the deal board and what that should look like and what steps should be involved. Because, I think originally Mike built it out in an amazing way for his business, which is modeled after your whole business, Ajay. But then I was like, but not everybody does that. Some
Right.
people don't do cold calling at all. Some people might not do subdivides ever. So like, do we
Yeah.
put steps in there that, are specific to subdivides or not? And that's a big part of why this is customizable. So
So
we,
great.
we built out this opportunity pipeline in a way that we thought would be most applicable to as many people as possible. We even tried to like word the stages in a way that weren't like focusing too hard on one specific niche of the land business.
Totally.
But really, I think whoever you are, there's immediate value to be had here for sure.
Yeah, I agree, Seth. And I want to boil it down because you said, hey, land investors that are doing at least a deal a month. Like, I would argue if you're not doing a deal a month, it's probably because you're not organized,
Yeah, it could
right?
be.
So even before that, if you're getting more than 5 leads a month, you probably need a way to keep organized. If you're somebody who's bringing in less than 5 leads, okay, fine. We can make an argument that this probably is not for you, right? But if I think one of my favorite expressions when it comes to like purchasing tech and vendors, I always say, purchase for the business you are building and something you can grow into, not the one you have. Right. I'll give you an example on the bookkeepers we work with. When we were hiring new bookkeepers 2 years ago, we had two options. One was $100 a month and one was $1,000 a month. Okay. The $100 a month was going to get her done. We had a friend of ours that was using her. She was a part-time bookkeeper and she got her bookkeeping done, right? The other one that was $1,000 a month, they were bookkeepers, tax planners, CPA filers, kind of full stack service, right? So they do my books for the Land Closures Academy side, right? And then also for our land business, right? Assets for Acres. And they did tax planning for me and Ben. And they also helped us just anytime I had questions, I was able to ask them. They were available all the time. I sent an email. My CPA responds in 4 minutes. It's awesome, And so I looked at this and I said, man, my aspiration is not to be the business we have today where I only need a bookkeeper that costs $100 a month. But guys, I own businesses and I want to grow. And like, we're going to do 7 figures this year. Like, I need to make sure I have a vendor I can grow into so I don't need to go vet a bunch of new people again in 3 months. So if you're a land investor that has aspirations to be doing more than 5 leads a month, this is a solution you can grow into, right? And the fact that we have all this functionality makes it so possible to grow into it with unlimited users, with the tech stack that's developed into this, right? Having unlimited seats is kind of insane. Getting rid of tools, also insane. I mean, you guys have really built this thing to be full stack. So let's start driving in. Again, guys, if you have any questions, start dropping them in the comments. I'm not seeing any yet, but would love to get questions answered. We can transition into Q&A here just in a little bit. If I don't see any in the Facebook chat, I'm happy to ask some for myself. Guys, can we transition into I know you guys have special offers for the first 100 users, if I remember right. Mike, you mentioned it a little bit earlier. Can you speak to that again here and say again, who Stride is for? What are we doing? Pitch me, baby. Show me what you got.
Absolutely. So if you're thinking, okay, I got a little taste, I like it, I want to learn more, got a couple things going on. First and foremost, Seth was nice enough to film a killer video on this that starts going over way more of the tools than we've even covered today. Today, we're just getting our palettes wet. This will start going over probably 70, 80% of the tools we have available. And there's still even more we haven't even touched yet. So right now, first 100 users that sign up, we still have a good amount in there now. I don't know how many seats we have left on this. If you don't see it on the website, it's not available. But first 100 users that sign up, they're going to be $197 a month for life. Absolutely nothing on there, no strings attached, nothing weird. That's $197 a month for life, whether you have one user or whether you have one employee, 1,000 employees, whatever, you can just add them in here. You can have as many deal boards as you want to. You can buy as many phone numbers as you want to. Now, where some people start to ask, they're like, okay, so why don't I just have unlimited calling in here? We are still at the mercy of Twilio, so do keep that in mind. What Twilio charges is what we charge. Same thing on phone numbers, same thing on everything else in there. But $197 a month right now, with that $197 a month, you do have a 14-day money back guarantee. You get in here and you're like, Ajay, I can't trust you anymore, man. You did this amazing Facebook Live. You brought Seth in there, the beauty. You brought Mike in there just to be a talking head, apparently. And I hate it. Just shoot us an email. We'll give you your money back. We want you to be happy. That's the number one thing I love about working with Seth is the number one thing I hate about working with Seth. He's a perfectionist and he wants to make sure everyone's happy. And I love it to death. But I also, too, Ajay, I think you and I are a little bit of the same. I'm also happy to jump out of the plane and just figure out how to make a parachute on the way down.
Definitely.
And Seth, he's still inspecting the plane before it even takes off, and I'm like, dude, let's just go. It'll be fine. We're in a foreign country about to hop on a plane. Don't worry about it.
I want to speak to that, Mike, because I've known Seth a little bit longer than you have. And, the brand you, Seth, and Ari Tipster has carried for so long has been one of quality, right? Every video you put out into the world is one of high quality. Every interview you do, you're asking questions nobody else is willing to ask at a level of detail that nobody else gets to, right? And so I want to compliment you that you've done such a good job making sure things are quality, to the point of picking co-hosts on podcasts. I mean, absolute quality there. And I'm joking here, guys, because I've been lucky enough to co-host many podcasts with Ari Tipster and loved doing that when I do. Yeah, I saw my face on here. I had to comment on it. But the point being, although we are not Stride users yet, I can guarantee the level of quality and customer service you're going to get here will be unparalleled because I know Seth, right? And I'm willing to stake my reputation on it because I know Seth, right? So that being said, Mike, that totally makes sense. I love that you guys have a 14-day money back guarantee. Guys, if you don't know too, building software is really, really hard. If you have authentic feedback for these guys, they want to know. I know it's hard sometimes to be like, I've only seen Mike and Seth on these videos. I don't know if I want to tell them that I actually just don't like it because of XYZ. I promise you, their goal is to make it a better product. So if you're a user actively, or you're somebody that jumped in for a couple weeks and you don't think it's a good fit, just give them your feedback so they can continue to make it better. I know these guys and I know they're going to fight to make it a really quality product. All right. So seriously, I ream my friends in tech every time I get something a piece of feedback out in the ether. I'm like, yo, Mike, I just heard this. Yo, Seth, I just got this. So if you tell me, I'm happy to deliver it to them because these guys are my friends and they want to know if somebody had a bad experience or just wants a feature that isn't available or whatever you've got. Don't be afraid to share. So sorry, Mike, I'm talking too much, man. Show me what you got right here.
No, you're good. So if you go to Stride, STRIDECRM.co, you can check out our page. From there, too, you can also just click Get Started, or you can click Try Risk Free for 14 days, or you can click a million buttons on here. We make it very easy for you to buy the product, believe it or not. So feel free to check those out. Feel free to get it. Now, nice thing about this, too, I know an issue I've had a lot in the past when getting into a new CRM is figuring out what the heck is going on. Nothing's worse than getting into a CRM and it's like, wait, I have to apply for A2P compliance? Like, wait, what does A2P mean? I don't even know. Actually, that's a true statement. I actually have no idea what it means. And we make sure we get it approved for everyone. So the nice thing too is once you sign up for this, you're going to be able to fill out a small form, so we can start getting some information on you on the back end. That information we're then going to use to actually put into your CRM for you. At the end of that, you're going to be able to book a tech call. During that tech call, they're going to be able to set it up so you can receive your emails right in Stride. They're going to, after that call, get your A2P approved. If you need phone numbers ported over from a different software into here, they can help you port those over. At the end of that tech call, then you're going to schedule an onboarding call. That's where you're going to sit down with another live human being. This isn't some random video. This is a person to sit there and walk you through the CRM. First question that person's going to ask you, hopefully, is how familiar are you with kind of like CRMs, automations, things like that? If you don't know anything, they're going to walk you through step by step. If you know a ton, then it's essentially going to be, what do you want to know? What do you need to know? So right off the bat, we're helping people onboard you. We don't charge for this onboarding cost. We're not charging you for the tech call, for the onboarding. If you cancel in those 14 days, Seth and I, we're just eating that cost because we're that proud of this product. We don't think many people are going to be leaving. We think it's going to be an absolute game changer. And that's what we're hearing from people that are already starting to go into it. So I would
That's
definitely
amazing.
check that out.
Mike,
Have some
can I
fun
jump in
with
here
it.
too?
Yeah.
I just want to say, I think one of the biggest concerns I'm sure so many land investors have, or any human that has a CRM, is like, man, this is going to be so much work, right? This is going to be so much work to transition over and teach my team and all these things. And so, guys, if you didn't absorb what Mike just said, he and Seth themselves are helping land investors get onboarded with the help of their team, right? So it's not just them, obviously, but they are making sure you get the handholding you need to get this done because it is a lot of work to transfer CRMs. But the good news is when you do, you're going to have a full stack service that actually helps you build the business that you want, that actually gives you the clarity around your pipeline in front of you so you can focus on what you're supposed to do, which is closing freaking deals, right? The worst thing that can happen is you get caught up in something that does not give you the clarity that you need. And I love that, Mike, you were just keeping the screen entertained this entire time, by the way, right? But the goal here is you are going to get the hand holding you need. So if you have questions, you'll get them answered. All I urge you to do if you're watching this is ask. All right. Just be willing to ask questions and reach out if you are somebody that is looking to jump into a new CRM right now. Or even if you're not looking, don't be afraid to poke because there's a 14-day money back guarantee. Right. But if your needs are not being met, like I'm seeing some really cool stuff here. And again, this is my first time looking at it. So all my emotions here have been authentic. All my questions have been genuine, and a lot of which have been delivered from our community. But this has been really, really cool, guys. Mike, is there anything else we should know? We got about 5 minutes here left on the calendar. What else should we know about Stride, or what other questions should we be asking as we're finishing up?
Oh, questions you should be asking. First thing I would be asking yourselves, are you tired of spreadsheets? Are you tired of having a million pieces of software? If any of those are true, I would jump on in here. I would say you can buy it for a year. So we offer the same thing, the $197 a month. We will do the same exact thing. If you buy it for a year, you'll get 2 months free. So you're at $19.70. Lock that in for life. For a lot of us, that's just one more deal and a lot less than one more deal. So I think I'm definitely biased here since I helped build it, but I think it's a no-brainer to get this in just to have clarity in your life, start being able to understand when should I triple dial, when should I double dial? How cool is it that I can be on the phone with somebody and say, okay, I think those numbers might work, and click one button and they immediately get the contract. It's just like, yeah. So I know you're at your computer right now. Can you make sure you can open this up? And then just have pure clarity on how is your team doing? How are they calling? Really, what's going on with that? So I think it's absolutely huge. Price is going to go up in the near future. Seth and I will probably get in a fight a couple months from now saying, I can't believe we allowed unlimited users in here, no matter how big the team is. And that's okay. We look forward to that. But the biggest thing, too, we just being such a big part of the community and working with you a lot, we just wanted to build something for the community where we're not nickel and diming them and they just really have a product that's phenomenal. And I think we've done it here. Um, or I'm totally mistaken and just, yeah, we haven't done it, but I think so. Enjoy it. We're going to continue to update it. I mean, we use it ourselves. So we're
I
eating
love
what
it.
we're feeding. Is that how they
Uh,
say that? Maybe I just made up a tagline. We're eating what we're feeding. I don't know. Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know what that means, but I stand by it, Mike. Hey, so as we're finishing out here, I had Kaylee reach out to iMe. Do you guys have any links available for me to drop both in Facebook and then obviously I think I just got it over from iMe. Here we go. Never mind. She is on it, Mike. I had Kaylee email her a little bit ago. That is Mike's assistant, if you guys didn't know. So I am dropping the link to Stride in the comments right now, y'all. Oh my gosh, and there are all these comments I actually did not see that did not pop up on Facebook. Jason Northcutt says morning. Carl Patridge says howdy, y'all. Darren, what's up? Man, Jason thinks this is phenomenal. Khalil is here. Ryan Schuster's from Cincinnati, Ohio. Amar is here. All right, we got a bunch of people who've been here live with us, and I just, for some reason, didn't see any of these comments on Facebook. But guys, thanks for being here. Not sure why Facebook didn't want to show these to me until just now, but I just dropped the link to Stride. So if you're curious, check it out. Get it for 14 days, and if you hate it, tell them, right? They're going to value your feedback. Seth and Mike are here. They are land investors. They've both been doing land as long as I have or longer, right? So they know what the product needs to have to make sure we're successful. But link is in the comments here. We'll get it up if you're watching this replay either on Facebook or YouTube. They should be down in the description. Guys, any last words of wisdom or call to everybody watching live with us?
So I've got some words of wisdom.
Please.
I like to collect quotes that inspire me. And one of the many quotes I've collected over the years is from Henry David Thoreau. He says, "A man is rich in proportion to the number of things he can afford to let alone." And Stride is something that enables you to let a lot of things alone, or at least think about them less because of automations, organization, things that just work the way they're supposed to. So I just want to leave that with you because I know I've spent a lot of time in my land business just doing busy work over the years because of lack of systems and too many spreadsheets and this massive Dropbox folder system with thousands of folders and all this stuff. With Stride, I don't need any of that stuff. Like, it's just there in one place. It's easy to get access to. It's easy to find what I'm looking for. And that's what we're hoping to do here. So
I love it. I love it, Seth. Thank you. Mike, any final words? Should we get closed out here?
Yeah. Final words. Ajay, thanks for everything you do for the space, man. Truly. I love you to death, man. You've really improved my business a ton. Our team follows all of your philosophies. It's originally everything we built out in Stride was 100% based on all of your education. And then Seth said, look, not everybody realizes how phenomenal Ajay is, so maybe we should make it simpler for others, but there's nothing we can do but thank you enough for everything you do for the space. So thanks for having us. Thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Ajay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Likewise, gentlemen. I don't think I'd be as, successful as I am if it wasn't for both of you. So grateful for our friendships, grateful we get to help each other show the world the things we create out of our brain to help everyone. If there's ever anything else I can do for y'all, don't be afraid to leverage the community here of people who just want to close more deals, right? And with that, guys, if you have other questions, drop them in the chat. These guys are awesome, so they'll be super responsive, and I'll be sure to deliver stuff to them. But with that, thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your Thursday. We kept it to an hour on the dot, and we'll see everybody soon. Thanks, y'all.